shoot a better one than that. I mean, now we owe him more money.
God.
Come on, I mean, that's with top of the hour as well, and now with that.
Sorry, is Ash getting a cut?
He looks like he's getting a cut of what, I don't know. Keep your calls and emails coming in. 1889 is our text. Email the show for free, of course, via the website talksport.com, or you can call us 08717 222 344. Time now, as if you hadn't guessed already, to talk to Dr. Octagon.
Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagon.
Good evening, Noel Gallagher. How are you, sir?
Sensational.
Just going back to the weekend's game, I don't agree. I think when Chelsea did beat Man City, I think tactically Jose was set up for that game, and Chelsea wanted it a little bit more on the night. But I looked at the way Man City set up. Pellegrini did learn from that. They weren't as cavalier. They made sure that defensively they were solid. They didn't allow Chelsea to catch them on the counter-attack. And he definitely changed his style, but still carried a threat.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, to play Demichelis in midfield that night was insane, and he should have. I don't know what Julian Lescott's got to do to not, you know, to get a game at centre half when Demichelis is injured. But the shape of the old team looks more comfortable when you've got an actual midfielder playing midfield and you've got Julian inside Vinny. But yeah, I was quite impressed with the team that he picked and the way that he set us up. But you know, like I said, Chelsea had a bad game, so it's difficult to judge. You know what I mean?
Just a quick word as well on those two decisions, which I think equalled themselves out because of the offside Nasri, which possibly shouldn't have stood. I thought the Lescott goal should have stood and didn't.
Oh, well, you know, if you're going to give offside now for a man's little finger being offside,
which is what it was, what? So wasn't there a directive to say that there has to be daylight? You know, and the Lescott goal, yeah. I mean, I don't think 3-0 would have flattered us a little bit, but if you're going to give offsides for that against Silva, I mean, that's kind of taking it to the limit, isn't it, really?
Well, let's be brutally honest, there's no way Barcelona are going to play as bad as Chelsea did. But the way that they set up, as I've just mentioned there, Jovetic and Dzeko not being too far forward, making sure that Garcia and Yaya Toure weren't in advanced positions, either Zavaleta or Clichy, more compact. Do you expect to see a similar performance?
Yeah, because the thing with Jovetic is he can drop off and come back into midfield like what Aguero does, you know what I mean? Because he sometimes played that number 10 thing in Italy, apparently. So with Negredo, he's up front, and that's his game, and he's a beast, and he's a goal getter. Jovetic has got a bit more guile about him, and I was impressed with him on Saturday. The jury's been out since he kind of, well, we've barely seen him, but I looked at him on Saturday and I thought, bar the dive, which won't happen again, I thought he had a pretty good game, and I thought, I can see him getting a few starts now.
Apart from the obvious answer of 3-4-0, whatever, what's the worst you'd take, if that makes sense? Is 0-0 a good result?
0-0 is brilliant. If we don't win the game, I think 0-0, we take it to a sudden death game, and for every goal we score at the Nou Camp, they've got to get 2. I'd take that right now. I think if we keep it down, as long as we're still in the game, when I get on my plane in a couple of weeks, that's all I'm bothered about, because it's a day do, even for a rock star, And as long as we're not all going out there just to say we've been there, as long as there's something on the game. If we were to lose 1-0, it wouldn't be that bad.
What about Messi? Will he do a job on him? Will it be the nearest man to close him down, or will he have something special for him, Pellegrini? Because he obviously knows him working in Spain. Yeah,
but I think with Pellegrini, he's kind of been true to his word, where he kind of doesn't really do things like that, does he? He's not like Mourinho, who would kind of devise a plan, stick somebody on him, or would be very tactical about it. Pellegrini, bless him, kind of, this is the way we play. If you beat us, good for you. I think it's going to be a great game. I'll tell you that.
I agree. And how are you feeling going into it? Has your mood changed? Are you confident? Are you excited? Are you apprehensive? I mean, they don't come much bigger than this. Someone put on social media, I think it was earlier on in the day, that quite a few years ago, on the same night, you were at home to, Huddersfield or something. I think it was like 1989 or something ridiculous. And now you're playing arguably the biggest side in the world. They don't come bigger than Barcelona at home.
Well, I tell you, I feel better than that. When the draw was made, and I said to you, I wish we were playing them next week because we were on fire. Last week, I was more apprehensive because Nasri was still out. Now Nasri's back, feel a little bit more at ease that we've got somebody alongside Silva who's on the same wavelength as him, and Yaya can sit in front of the back four. So I feel a little bit better than I did last week, but not as good about it as I feel in 3 weeks when Aguero's back and probably Fernandinho as well. So I feel better than I did last week, but I still, I mean, it's Barcelona. They can, Messi can score at will.
Did you see his goal at the weekend?
Trying not to watch it because I won't go to the game otherwise.
You've got to watch it. It's sublime. It's honestly, it's ridiculous.
Mm.
Not only does he control. I mean, it's crazy. Not only does he control the ball going up, he seems to control it coming down. If that makes sense, it's just a weird loop. It's incredible.
I mean, part of you is going to the game, to see your team, but a big part of you is going to see him. Really, do you know what I mean? To see him at your ground is. I mean, I've been to a couple of Arsenal games just to see him play. You know what I mean? Just because to me, he's the best player that's ever been. And. Just to be in the same stadium as him, and he's a massive Oasis fan.
Is it? Have you made that up, or he genuinely is?
No, he genuinely is. I signed a shirt for him for somebody about. I was up at City, some Spanish dude. No, I know he's a massive Oasis fan.
So surely you're gonna meet after the game. Maybe you can take him out for a few drinks.
I'd rather nobble him. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather do his calf. You know what I mean? And have a cab, have that, you little fart.
Oh, nobble. Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
you broke up on a bit there. Before I let you go, I cannot wait for this one. Give me a quick prediction. How do you see it's going to go? But not with your heart, with your head. Realistically, what will the score be?
My head, I'm going to go for... God. Right, my heart hopes that we stop them scoring. I'm not bothered if we score or not. As long as they walk out of that stadium with 0, that'll do me.
Yeah, but even one, if they get 1, if you beat them 3-1, that's an amazing result.
Well, if we beat them, it's going to be probably the biggest result in our history. I'm going to go 2-2.
A bit of Desmond action, okay.
Yeah.
If you beat them, will you be in a fit enough state to come back on the show tomorrow night?
I'm going to be driving back afterwards, so might be. Yeah, if we beat them, I'll be in a very, very noisy car.
All right, wonderful. All right, hopefully, for your sake, of course, we will speak to you tomorrow night. You never know.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on, pal.
All right, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Andy Goldstein's Sports Bar. Weekday nights from 10 on Talksport.